Hi, welcome to Vegetables Day 147. And it is not Therapy Thursday because when I made my appointments last week, they didn't have an appointment on Thursday. But I did take Scott to his echocardiogram, so we'll get the results of that. I read over the report a little bit that they posted through his online chart. But, really don't know how to interpret it or, what the next steps will be. So, we'll see. And then I spent the rest of the day talking to nurses and mom. Had a, little few things to sort out with one of her medications. And her trying to tell the nurses one thing that trying to tell nurses something that she shouldn't be because she's trying to make changes just because she's mad and doesn't understand what's going on. So that was very challenging. But what I really wanted to talk about today, after a little update, is, as you know, I struggle with the dishes. Really struggle with them. So I have decided that there is no shame in using paper plates, paper plates and paper bowls, along with plastic forks and plastic spoons. Yes, it increases the garbage and is not very environmentally friendly. At least not the spoons. But there's just too many dishes. And with our dishwasher not working very well, I think it's going to be a good solution so that I can cut down on the amount of dishes that I have and hopefully be encouraged to make more meals at home. And, there's no shame in that. There really isn't. You have to find out what works for you. And I've said that before. Just because somebody says, what you shouldn't do, something the way that they do it, it doesn't make the way that you do it wrong. It's just a preference from one person to the other. And people need to learn that just because somebody opposes you and thinks differently than you do, that's not a reason to become violent. Let them live their life. You live your life. And just growing up, I have found, as well as being a parent, I've just found that the best way to influence other people is to live by example. But also be truthful and transparent. Don't say that you're eating, in my case, a whole foods plant-based diet when you're really only eating a plant-based diet. I do want to get to the whole foods plant-based way of eating. But I have begun incorporating, a few processed foods. I tried to not eat bread. I really enjoy bread. So I try to get the bread that is the closest to all natural ingredients, but do contain whole foods. Sure, it's whole wheat flour, which is not the best for you, but it's a sprouted grain, so it's better than plain white flour bread. And it all boils down to what Dr. Greger has always said is whether something is healthy for you or not. It's what you're comparing it to. I achieved my stand goal. I better have. I've been walking around a lot. But you have to, you have to find out what works for you. And if someone doesn't agree with it, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're right and you're wrong. It also doesn't mean that you're right and they're wrong. And I think I just find that seems to be a trend socially that, especially when it comes to being vegan, that just because I don't live a vegan lifestyle, but eat a pretty much meat and animal product free diet, does not make me a bad person. But yet people who've chosen the vegan lifestyle can sometimes tend to be a little judgmental, just because they're trying to force their beliefs onto you. And that happens in all areas of life with different people. But that's, we need to learn as a society that we're allowed to have our own opinions. That we're not wrong for having our own opinion. And that it's no need to become angry or violent or play the silent game with them. So just a little food for thought. But, that all boils back down to you take the guidelines of whatever eating plan that you want or goal to get healthy. You take whatever path you feel is going to work for you, that's going to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. There's always that saying is that it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. And as long as, you're sticking to your beliefs and you're sticking to your own personal thoughts and you're not harming anybody else, just keep working towards your goal. And once you get to your goal, it doesn't matter whether everyone agrees with or disagrees with how you got there. The important thing is that you got there. And if that means I'm going to use paper plates and paper bowls and plastic spoons and plastic forks, I'm going to do it. I was going to get knives too, but I went to Dollar Tree and they didn't have any. I already had a whole bunch of forks left over from my daughter's wedding, which is almost 3 years ago. I just stored them and didn't use them. But I'm using those up at then I went to Dollar Tree and they didn't have any plastic knives or packages of just plastic knives. So I got the spoons and the forks now, but I'll have to go to another store to get the knives. So I'm still using knives and I still got a whole bunch of silverware because I still haven't done it. After I got done straightening out the medication issue with Mom, also got a phone call from Social Security. I was done. And that's what I run into now, is that I can only handle so much before my brain feels like it's going to explode. And compared to what I used to be able to do, it's a fraction. A fraction of what I used to be able to do. And, if there's just no way, I just can't multitask anymore. I mean, I forget to turn off the stove. Twice today I've forgotten to fasten my trousers. walking around with unfastened trousers. I mean, who forgets to do that? Tell me, who forgets to do that? Me. But that's didn't really have much to say today, but I did want to point that out, that you know it's not a shame. So, if there's something that you do that some people would feel or think shameful, put it in the comments. I don't care. I'm just curious. I mean, I've had so many dishes in the past before. I've had to clean them in the bathtub. And I know I'm not the only person that's done the dishes in the bathtub, because there was so many of them. So, that's two things that I'm doing now, or have done, that people would say is shameful. So, share your shame. Share your shame. But also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload the video every day. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for Therapy Friday. And maybe I might fit some foodie stuff in there too.